Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So we got this is actually some big news. Like, I know I always say that we get big news, but like this is like some disappointing news that I will admit it is very disappointing to me, but like everyone else is very disappointed by this, and it's a reasonable thing, so I'm glad that they're doing it, of course, but it still sucks just because it sucks. But at the end I know we'll not get through this, but it'll be awesome. I don't know why I don't know why I'm being dramatic, but basically The Wolf Among Us 2 literally got delayed. It is not coming out in 2023, so it is most likely coming out in 2024. I don't think they mentioned that it's coming out in 2024, they just mentioned that it's delayed out of 2023, so they talked about it in like this post that you guys can see on the screen, but I'm not gonna really read that because there's like I can't even talk. The IGN article actually talks about more details about like why this is happening and some things that are going on, so I'd rather be talking about the IGN article. And that's like really nice that they decided to make an article with IGN instead of just posting it on the Telltale Twitter account. So it really shows that they wanted to make this like a big deal, and that makes sense because The Wolf Among Us 2 is just going to be delayed, and this is a big deal considering this is like their first game back, even though The Expanse is technically going to be Telltale Games' next game, but I don't think Telltale Games is even developing that game. I think they're just publishing it by the way it looks, but they still have some involvement with that game, so that's really interesting. But yeah, basically Telltale Games mentioned that it's going to be not coming out in 2023 due to they don't want to do crunch time, which basically means to make the employees like work hard, like basically whipping them to like make them get the game out as fast as fuck. Like they don't want to do that, of course, because that's literally what the old Telltale Games said. Like their old management was unhealthy. Also, something really interesting is that the Unreal Engine, they're going to be using Unreal Engine 5 instead of 4, and so there's some things about Unreal Engine that's like different than 5 is different than 4. It's like a little bit more harder to use, I would assume, and there might be some bugs that they need to fix around. I'll mention in a sec. But yeah, Jamie mentions about making games is difficult and they need time to be good. I can't talk. They need time to be right, he said, and it doesn't do any of us good to ship something that's not ready. It's really interesting because basically, Jamie mentioned how Telltale Games struggled with the COVID-19 pandemic, which makes sense, obviously, and then being resurrected by LCG Entertainment 2019. The game started like the production like in 2020, I assume, and then there's other factors. But yeah, making games is difficult and they need the time to be right. Alright, so more in the article I'll mention is that if we put this game out and it's not ready, we're going to get torn to shreds, he says. The expectations are pretty high and we want time to meet those, and we want to be proud of it and know that, hey, this is the best game we could have made. Let the world say what they will once it's done, but at least we know that in these times, in these conditions, this is the best game we can make. But yeah, something that's really interesting that they mentioned is that The Wolf Among Us 2 will be like episodic, and that even though it's being developed all at once, they want to make sure all the episodes are actually finished before releasing this. So I would assume that episodes 1 to 3 maybe, or at least maybe like episodes 1 and 2, or mainly just episode 1 are finished, while the other 3 are possibly being worked on. So it makes me curious to see how big this game could actually be, and I want to assume that maybe episodes could be like up to 3 hours, just because there's a lot of work being done into this. Episodes might be short, honestly, but like I really do feel like episodes are being like extra long if it's really taking them this long to like work on Wolf Among Us 2, unless they have like a small development team that are just doing the job, I would assume. So there's like, I feel like it's both factors playing into this. But yeah, I've done crunch and I don't want to do it again. It's not fair to ask, he says. You can't plan a business around it. So yeah, part of it is about maintaining a healthy work culture. We don't want to burn out our good people. It's been incredibly difficult to recruit the last 2 years between COVID and the labor markets and the growth in the games industry. So certainly burning people out or grinding them is the wrong thing to do long term. It's not how you do business. And as an industry, we're terrible about it. We burn our people out, we burn our best people out faster, and as an industry, if we're going to continue to grow, we have to stop doing it and make better choices. Choices. But yeah, they also like briefly mention about how they have an unannounced project. Wait, where was it? I know it's here. Telltale also has a third unknown title very early in development, and they even mentioned about being all the episodes being developed at once, and that episode 1 is well-written adventure with added dose of stylish noir presentation. So it really makes me think that they're like on their episode 1 is already done. It could be possible that episode 2 is like almost done or is about done. But yeah, my thoughts and opinions about all this. It sucks. It really does, because I'm not sure what happened, because they seemed pretty confident that it was coming out in 2023. It makes sense why we didn't get any news about Wolf Among Us 2 anytime sooner. I do think we'll get news maybe at the end of the year or something like that, but it actually is starting to make sense why we didn't get news before, and I'm wondering how the experience got into development like further than Wolf Among Us. I'm assuming it's because Deck Nine's partnership, and I'm assuming that they have a type of larger studio and it was easier to work with them maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure where this is gonna go. I'm glad the Expanse is still releasing for the summer. Like, they've tweeted about it. There's no issues with the Expanse, especially since it was already on a game store, I believe. So something happened with Among Us 2 where they really had to they had to delay it, and I'm curious to know like where this game is gonna go with terms of like its direction. I'm assuming that the game is I think the game is really just unfinished. Like, they were just like very early into the game, and it could be possible that Unreal Engine 5 is causing them too much bugs, and like I would assume possible delays in terms of like learning how to use the system, because I don't know why, but I thought Unreal Engine 5 didn't really have any difference to 4 unless you actually use those new features, and they did mention in an article somewhere that they are using the new features for Unreal Engine 5, so I'm really curious to know like what they are, and it could be possible with like the graphics, maybe it's being enhanced. I don't know anything about Unreal Engine. I'm not really familiar with the game engine at all. I know Unity, but yeah, it's kind of weird to see, but yeah, I know there's been like a lot of people disappointed. I was looking on Twitter. I will not share it because I don't want to put anyone on blast, but yeah, there's just been a lot of people who have been supporting Telltale Games, which is nice, and there's other people who have been like full on disappointed, and then there's like people just being like rude to Telltale Games, saying rude things about Wolf Among Us 2 being delayed, and I think they're different companies, like Deck Nine Games and Telltale Games. They're like, that's a different partnership, and then Telltale Games, and then I believe they're working with Ad Hoc Studios. That's like a different partnership as well. So I think they're being smart by their partnerships, and they're not like making the whole team work on Wolf Among Us 2. I don't know how to explain, like there's like even balance with the amount of people they have. But yeah, I want to know you guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, and if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe. And yeah, are you guys sad that Wolf Among Us 2 is delayed? I am, because 2023, they didn't even say like release date, they just said 2023, but now 2024 is most likely. I really do think it's gonna come out 2024. Oh my gosh, imagine 2025. I'm literally gonna be 22 years old when Wolf Among Us 2 comes out. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later for the next video. I hope you guys have a good day. Goodbye.